Good morning. Can I come inside? Good morning. For some reason my coffee is not as hot as I wanted it to be, but that's okay. I felt like I was frothing it for like 2 hours. BRB, I'm just getting comfortable. This is my favourite cup. It's Country Road. So I just need to, just need to get caffeinated first. Let's put this on my shirt. So, if you're probably wondering, why such the slow morning? Where's happy, energetic Desi? I'm here, just not today. If some of you might know, probably don't, but I was meant to be going overseas today. I'm meant to be boarding a plane today to go to Canada, Calgary. Unfortunately, that's not happening right now. And I'm just going to sit in my bed for a little bit longer and miss that flight and miss the opportunity to go to Calgary in Canada. Sorry, just need to get a little bit more comfortable because your girl is a little bit sad. So I was meant to go overseas today to start my travels overseas for bobsled, the new sport that I have taken up. And unfortunately, that is not the case, which sucks. But I guess that's life. So basically, I've been having troubles with my foot. And I've been having troubles with my foot for a long time, and I haven't been able to like fully sprint or run properly without pain. I can't do like daily things now like without pain, really. I go to sleep, it's painful. I want to go for a walk on the beach, it's painful. I can't warm up, it's too painful. Can't do drills, I can't jog, just hurts too much. And yeah, I've been wanting to get this sorted for a long time, and especially wanted to get it sorted before I go overseas so I can compete and I can train for what I was going to go there from now until December before Christmas, which is like 2 months, and then I was going to go back January to March. Yeah. And the biggest goal going over there as well is just to get races in, experience what the sport is. Like, I've never really done a season before. See if I actually like it, see if I am good at it, and try and make world championships in March. Unfortunately, that's not happening anymore because of this foot. I had to make the decision the past few days whether or not I go or not. The past week. I saw my surgeon, and he's kind of said that after looking at my MRI scans, that there is an extra tendon in my perineal, my right ankle, and there's an extra fat tendon as well. And if he wants to go through further investigation to see what's going on with my foot, because obviously I have like this chronic pain, and it's restricting me from actually performing at the standard I need to perform or I want to perform. He has to actually cut it open and see if there's like a tear in there or anything else is happening, as well as the front of my foot, which is my navicular. He's going to have a look and try and clean that up and see if there's anything else wrong there. That's where I had my previous surgeries on. So basically I had to make the decision whether I don't go to Calgary in Canada, I don't go over to Birmingham, where I was going to go to a Gymshark athlete meetup, which I am very upset about as well. And then I don't get to go to Prague and meet up with my pilot and start training and start competing. So it was a really hard decision, and it's taken me a long time. And I guess through having a supportive team and everything, they've told me that I've made the right decision. They've helped me make that decision, I guess. I've even been to a sports psych to ask him. I think he has led me in a good decision as well. My surgeon thinks this as well. My whole team, my family, my mum, my boyfriend, everyone has said that this is probably the best decision, is to stay here, get it fixed. This first part of the season doesn't matter as much as the second part, because the second part is where, we could make it to world champs. It's not as much time over there, so I'm not going to be in as much pain. And hopefully if I give it its shot now, like, I can be good for next year. It's been a tough decision, but I really wanted to just, get in and show you guys my journey over there and everything, but that's going to hold off, and I hope you understand. Means plenty more of me in my bed and in the gym and drinking coffees, because Europe does not have good coffee. So you basically go on a coffee ban. I'm going to have headaches when I go. But yeah. I'm going to get a call today from my surgeon and stuff to say when my surgery exactly is. But yeah, I'll keep you guys up to date. I think it's going to be next week. It was going to be this week. But I think they're going to fit me in next week, early week. So I will definitely document everything. Might even ask him if I can film some stuff in there. That'd be pretty cool. So we will get it all sorted. I'll have surgery and we'll be on our way, and I'll be on the road to recovery once again. I swear, and if you know me, a lot of people say that this always happens to me. I get somewhere, I'll get to a point where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing so well in my sport, I'm about to achieve my dream, or achieve that's gonna achieve my dream, I'm making that step, and every time I get to that step, something just shoots me down. I remember back in 2018 when I was my last year of school, so I was in grade 12. I was competing for heptathlon, so doing athletics, my love and dream. And I had this really bad back pain. Oh yeah, lower back pain. It was absolutely terrible. I'd be doing say a sprint or a 150 around a bend, and I would be crying during my sprint because my back was so sore. And then after the after the run, the training session, I'd be on the ground, like curled up in a ball, like crying. And then I would like wipe the tears away when my coach would come over and be like, no, I'm fine, I'm just lactic, like it hurts. And I'd tell them my back hurt. I was competing and training all year round, and then I got to the end of the year, and it was when I was finishing year 12 as well. I went to Townsville and I competed in the heptathlon. I pushed through the pain. Bear in mind, we have to do for the heptathlon 200, 100 hurdles, long jump, high jump, shot put, javelin, and 800.
7 and 8, easy, open. And Stephen Johnson from Gold Coast Big League, leading into the home firmly outside of Neil Crane in the open. And Madison Wells there, it's going to be Desi Johnson taking line on the 25.07. Official one. Down, Desi Johnson, no chasing her down the under 18. As well as and Desi Johnson, the first four across the line.
So putting my body through that stress for 2 days was a lot, but I was so determined to get this qualifier. I was so determined to win. I was so determined to be the first, the best in Australia. And I got those things. I pushed through it and I got those things. I ranked myself first in Australia, and in overall world rankings at the age under 18s, I was 33rd in the world, which massive achievement for me, biggest achievement. And yeah, basically the next step from there was, all right, let's crack down. We've got another one to do. And then we've qualified for World Juniors, which, biggest dream. Like, oh my gosh, that would have been so cool. Anyway, after I did that competition, I found out that I had an MRI, and this was literally like a week before form. Oh no, I found out my scan results for my back the day of my spray tan for formal. And guys, if you know me, I'm a very emotional person. It's probably why I'm very happy all the time, because I can get very sad. Anyway, I remember being in the doctor's appointment, and like I've never had like a serious injury like that before. And the doctor goes, I'm like, you need to come in straight away. And we were like, oh, I got to get spray tan for formal. And Mum was like, okay, let's just go in. I've gone in, and he's got my scan results up. His face looked distraught, and I was like, I've never seen like a doctor's face look distraught before. I think he knew just how much I was like, I need to go to World Champs, like you can't, like we need to fix myself, like whatever. And he goes, Desi, I'm sorry, but what we see here is your L4s. You have a stress reaction in your left side, a bit of a hairline, and you have a stress fracture going through your right side of your lumbar spine. And it's almost all the way through. It's very lucky we've got it now, because it's almost broke. It almost broke. This is me after I heard that I've got like a stress fracture in my back. Like I didn't even listen to anything else he had to say. I just looked at him like, and then like tears just started streaming down my face, and he's like, here's the tissues. And I was like, and then he was just telling Mum everything, and like I was literally just like crying. And I walked out, and Mum was like booking another appointment or doing whatever she had to do. Like walked out into the street, walked away, started crying, and the Mum was like, it's okay, like, and I'm so sorry. And I was just like, that means I can't get to World Champs. And unfortunately, that was it. That stopped me. I had to sit on my bum for like 15 weeks. Like I wasn't allowed to do anything. Imagine me not doing anything. Like right now, I'm getting a little bit agitated just sitting in bed. Like I literally, when I wake up, I have to get up. Like I was just like, what? I can't even walk on the beach without being careful. Like I have a fractured back. Which is probably common in heptathlons, because you're doing like high jump and all this pressure on your spine and back and whatever. Yeah. So anyway, literally 5 minutes later, I had to drive down the road and go get a spray tan, and I'm in tears, like tears. I was grieving, guys. I was at that stage of just crying. And then mum had to drop me off and then come pick me back up. And I just went in and I was like, all right, I want the darkest tan possible. And they were just like, okay, like, do you want a tissue? And I was like, I'm fine. And I saw my friend in there and she's like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then I got my spray tan, and because I was trying to hold my tears back so much, I just went numb and I didn't know what to do. And I was very upset. And yeah. Basically, that put me out for the whole year. And I couldn't go back, which was very sad. It took me a long time to get back. And I guess because like I was at such a young age, that was when I sort of jumped into the partying sort of area of my life, you could say. Yeah, because I wasn't allowed to do anything, and I went, stuff it, like if I can't like run, if I can't do this, then I'm just gonna go and have fun with my friends for once and socialize, because I never do that. I never drink, I never whatever. So we had formal, and then we had schoolies that like week. In Australia, schoolies is like a week after school where you just party hard, and it's just like out on the beach and you have like a big beach festival and stuff. Anyway, that kind of introduced me into like the drinking world and like socializing with my friends, and after that I just went party, party, party. Yeah, so I didn't do sport for that year, which was obviously I couldn't, so I resorted to socializing a lot more. Yeah, and then I realized I was not happy in myself. I was not happy in drinking. I was not happy doing what I was doing. Like I lost sort of my identity. I was like, oh, what am I doing? I'm not happy. I was happy competing and I was happy doing sport. I'm not happy now. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Like stop thinking that the world is falling down. Like that is nothing. What happened, like getting injured is nothing. Like it's not the end of the world. And I've just made it out to be like it's the end of the world, and now I'm stuck in a bad cycle and bad habits and unhappiness and yeah, bad decisions. And that's when I kind of switched around, and it took me a while to get back at it, but I started trying to be healthier. I went back to my coach to start training. He led me in the right path. He wanted me to get better. And I wanted to compete again. And yeah, so that's when I started like sprinting again, stuff like that. Bear in mind, before I did fracture my back, I was in a boot about 4 times with my foot, which is the current problem at the moment. That set me back, and I actually decided to stop doing 100 sprint because I couldn't sprint on my foot properly, and we moved into doing heptathlons because overall, if you were average at each of the events, you were pretty good at a heptathlon. So I might as well try it, and I ended up being really good at it and loving it and stuff. So I was like, oh, this is sick. Anyway, when I got back, I was just trying to run again and trying to sprint and see what I could do. Yeah, so that was like 2019, 2020. And then, I was getting that love for it back and everything, and I was getting back into it. I changed coaches, and because my coach, obviously, like, he's amazing, but he retired, and I had to change coaches, and it was completely different for me. But yeah. And then that's when I then had my first ever testing day with them. And because a lot of people look at me and go, oh my gosh, she's so strong. Like, she's got big legs. Like, she can squat, a massive weight. Anyway, they've put me under this bar at 150 kilos. I've quarter squatted it 3 times, but on the first quarter squat that I did, like, everyone's around me hyping me up. I was like, I'm in a new squad, I need to perform, like, I need to do this, like, I need to squat 150 kilos. Anyway, and then everyone has just hyped me up, and I've gone down into the squat too fast, and I've obviously I don't have that core control I should have just yet, and I have felt my back just go, and I was like, you're joking. And I continued to squat because everyone was cheering me on. I racked the bar and I fell to the ground. I'm in that much pain, like excruciating pain. I cannot stand. It's just radiating through my whole back. I've gone into an ice bath. I'm crying. I've called my mum and I'm like, I think I've fractured my back again. Anyway, I've tried to like manage it and everything like that, and then I've just had pain for a while, and we ended up getting a scan again. It said that I have stress reactions in my back again, but in a different part. I don't know, I forgot if it was my L5s or my L3s, but yeah, so that was very devastating. I was very upset because it was obviously a trigger for me, fracturing my back the first time, and then knowing that I was nearly on that road again was like, oh, you're joking, are you serious? So I had more of a drive and a bit of mindset to get that fixed. I went over to my friend's house, right? She has these brothers, and they were all playing basketball out the front, and I went, oh yeah, I'll join in. I hadn't even entered their house yet. The boys were like, yeah, play basketball with me. Shout out. And then they've thrown the ball. I've gone to get it like this. My knee has twisted and I've felt this pop, and I've literally like fall to the ground and gone, oh my gosh, holding my knee. I didn't want to look at it. I was like, I've dislocated my knee. They're like, oh my gosh, no, you haven't. And I was like, no, I haven't. No, it can't be. I can't have just dislocated my knee. It must have popped back in because it didn't look dislocated, and it felt dislocated though. It hurt so bad. I put ice on it. I continued on with my day. I tried to fix it because I wanted to go to training. I didn't want to tell my coach that I just like dislocated my knee playing basketball. So I just continued to train, and running in a straight line was like, okay, as soon as I put any pressure going sideways, it would just go again. I dislocated it like 5 or 6 times after that. Just doing simple things like I would move and it would fall and it would just dislocate. That was actually quite disgusting. My knee, it hurt a lot. Yeah, this though, I keep missing the story. I'm like, wow, all these pieces putting together. I had surgery on my foot not long before that when I started in this new squad. So before I'd had another stress reaction in my back, before I dislocated my knee, I had surgery on my foot, and that's why they just like shaved a spur off my navicular to try and help my navicular and the pain and get me out of the boot. Anyway, yeah, so I had surgery on my foot. I was out for a bit, but then I started with this new squad, and I kind of started my recovery with them. Once I was recovered well enough to start running again, I was in the gym, I did the squats, hurt my back, and then I hurt my knee. And then I got PRP on my knee eventually, which has fixed my knee. It sounds disgusting though. If you ever hear me squat, it's gross, it crunches. Actually, oh my gosh. Wait. That's my knee. Can you hear that? Okay, I hope you could hear that. It's disgusting. After that, I got that fixed and everything, and then eventually I decided to move on from that squad. I started with a new training squad, and I was doing the best I'd done in years in my running in that squad. I was happy. I was working really hard in that squad, and that's when I was sort of introduced into bobsled as well. Like I had some girls talk to me about it, and I was like, no, I want to sprint. I want to try and get back to sprinting first. And then when I was in that squad, I also was introduced to rugby sevens, and I was so excited about this. I was like, yeah, I would love to be a rugby player. I did some testing with some of the Australian coaches. They came and tested me while I was at training. Bear in mind, my foot is still playing up, still sore. I'm just literally pushing through the pain. Like, the surgery really didn't do too much for me. Anyway, I've been playing rugby. I was testing for rugby. I did really, really well. Like, I was beating some of the boys in my sprint, which was like, oh, this is sick. Like, I'm going to be a rugby player. Like, I can't wait. And when I put my mind to something, I just put my mind to something. I got invited to train with the Queensland girls, and Man, was that an experience. Very different. I'd never put rugby boots on in my life, like trained in them really. So yeah, it was a very, very crazy experience. It was really fun. My foot was sore every session though, and then eventually I got my foot scanned again, and I had an appointment with my surgeon again, and he said we need to do a bigger surgery this time. There's a fracture going horizontal. We need to shape that out. We need to create room between your navicular and your talus navicular because they're just hitting too hard. You have a really bad anatomy in your foot. Like, I've got a very stiff foot, which I can't help, and I'll never be able to fix that. And then he wanted to put a screw through it, drill holes in it, create blood flow. Hopefully my foot gets better. I was in a boot when I was at training for rugby sevens, and then I have to have surgery. I had surgery on my foot, and I still haven't gone back to rugby sevens because I haven't been able to run, and that was about a year ago, maybe over a year ago, which is quite devastating. I was really excited for that opportunity, and maybe one day I can go back to that. Hopefully after this surgery I can. Yeah, so then I just was on the road to recovery again in a boot for ages, and I was in a cast first, like for a bit, and my foot ever since on my right side, so just on a different part of my foot has been very sore since as well. I haven't been able to get back to 100% running. I get pain after like a few runs, like at 15 meters. I get pain when I do drills, single leg, anything. I get pain when I do calf raises. I get pain when I jog. And it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I just want to get there, and I want to have no pain, and I just want to try and achieve my dreams. So, and that's when I was introduced to bobsleigh. They said, we don't care if your foot's not 100%. We want to throw you in a bobsled, see if you like it. If you like it, then continue on with us. And I was like, okay, let's do it. I'm just going to try. I just want to make a team. I want to make the Olympics. Maybe it's not Summer Olympics, maybe it's Winter Olympics. So yeah, I just have this big drive with sport, and I was just like, okay, let's do it. Did it, and that's when I've got this opportunity to go over for months on end to compete and train over there, overseas, in international travel, international sport in the winter. And unfortunately, I've just been told I need to have surgery again right before I leave, literally a few days before I go. So we will get it all sorted. I'll have surgery and we'll be on our way.